and welcome to my closet. Well, this is technically my closet slash office. We got a lot going on here. This is not a mom talk closet. You are not about to be wowed by its beauty. We live downtown Philadelphia in one of those like brownstones. It's over 100 years old. The basement floods every time it rains. So we have construction happening. So if you hear some background noise, I apologize, but like, dear Lord, I need that French drain. So over the last couple months, and it's taken that long, I've been going through the process of cleaning out my own closet, sort of taking notes as I went along to sort of like figure out like what decisions I was making and why. And I've come out with a list of things that I think can help the very daunting task of cleaning out your closet. I have some insights, I have some tips, and I have like kind of like a punch list of how to clean out your closet, regardless of your style, quite frankly. So these are tips anyone can use, and hopefully they're helpful. All right, I'm moving over so I can consult my notes here. Okay, so first of all, when you're cleaning out your closet, the reason it has taken me a couple months is because there's really no way of getting around the fact that at some point here, to clean out your closet, you have to take everything out and try it on. Like, that is non-negotiable. I'm sorry, it sucks, but that is what has to happen. When I went through my closet, I think the easiest thing is to start with item types. So I did all of my jeans in one day. I did all of my sweaters, frankly, on a different day. I did all of my shoes on a different day. If you have been putting off cleaning out your closet for a long time, taking it chunk by chunk seems to do a little bit better. I also think by function is another way to approach it. So like all of your workout clothes should be on, try those all on together, including the shoes. Pajamas, quite frankly, and loungewear, that should be a whole set. Group those together. That is step one, is to try on everything. And the best way to do it, honestly, is to pull it all down, get it all out, unearth it from whatever pile or closet or drawer it's in, put it in the middle of your closet or your room, and then try it on from there. As you try these things on, I want you to look for certain things, because there's certain, I think, red flags that if the piece you're trying on meets any of those red flags, it immediately needs to be moved into a pile that maybe it doesn't go right out to Goodwill, but it's a pile that means it's got to be really deeply reconsidered. It does not earn its spot back in the closet just yet. Number one, anything you haven't worn in 2 years, I want it out. Even if you have been recently pregnant or nursing, any of those things, that's why it's 2 years, not 1 year. Anything you haven't worn in 2 years, it needs to be in its own separate pile. Get it out. Anything that you've worn less than 3 times in that same 2-year period, that should also go into that pile. If you've worn something less than 3 times in a 2-year period, it is deeply suspicious. I suspect something's wrong with it. And you know what? You don't even have to know what. It doesn't matter. Anything that you know that you have repeatedly put on and taken off, that needs to go in that same pile. You might even love this piece. I actually don't care. No matter how much you love this piece, if it's something that you've put on your body and then immediately taken off before you walk out of the house, it goes in that pile. Anything that's not your color, and look, I don't care if you haven't had your official colors done. If there's anything that you put on and your gut reaction is, ugh, I need some blush, it goes in that pile. Anything uncomfortable, anything itchy, anything that doesn't quite fit, it goes in the pile. Anything you wish was shorter, whether it's like a top that isn't like quite boxy and cropped enough, or a dress that like is like not hitting at the right length and it needs to be shorter. Anything that needs to be shorter goes in the pile. Any dress or top where the straps keep falling down and driving you crazy, put it in the pile. Anything that needs to be tailored. I actually have a pile of tailoring that has been sitting there for 3+ years. Anything that needs to be tailored goes in that pile. Anything that takes up too much room in your closet, hold on. You gotta be really clear on how often you wear this. This sweet, sweet Free People Camden fleece takes up the same amount of room as like 3 pairs of jeans when it's in my closet. It turns out I don't wear it enough for it to be taking up as much space as it does. Anything that's super bulky and takes up a lot of room, you should make sure that you are definitely wearing it enough given the size. Back to this monster pile we're creating. And as you go through your closet, don't worry if that pile gets to be like scary large. That's okay. Okay, yeah, okay. A scary large pile does not deter us. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that all this stuff is immediately going out to Goodwill. Be really strong in your decision making here. Anything you don't have the right bra for, any top or dress that requires a bra that you don't currently own, it goes in the pile. Anything that's too hard to get on or off. If there's a sports bra you keep setting aside because it's just too annoying, you can't deal with it in the morning, that goes in the pile. Any piece that you own that you can only wear if your hair is up goes in the pile. Conversely, any piece you own that you can only wear when your hair is down, that also goes in the pile. What I find is that when there's these little things that are wrong with something, we tend to make up fantasies in our head where they're gonna get a lot of use. When I wear my hair up, I'm gonna wear this more. But the reality is, these end up just being excuses for us to not make a hard decision, and we just keep putting it in our closet. And I suspect that if you really look hard at something like a top where you only can wear it when your hair is up, I suspect if you apply some of these other rules, like how often have you worn it in the last 2 years, it's probably less than 3. Once you've gone through every set of things in your closet and you've evaluated it and tossed the ones that don't make it into this pile, you should have a closet that is filled with only things that you wear and love, and that are comfortable and that look good on you. And frankly, even if it's just a really tiny set of things, you're gonna feel so much more free. And that's where styling creativity can take off. And you should have a closet that, maybe there's some functional holes in it, but for the most part, you should have a closet filled with stuff you actually like to wear. You also will have a mound of clothes driving you crazy in the middle of this closet, right? So let's talk about that next. Okay, so we're gonna go through the pile, and the first thing you're gonna do is pull out anything sentimental. I am not an ice queen here. For example, I don't really need a giant Red Wings t-shirt, but it was my dad's, so I will forever have this giant Red Wings t-shirt. This will never be donated into my pile of potential. Go back through your pile and look for anything incredibly well made from 100% natural fibers. 100% merino wool or leather, all of those really high quality pieces, pull them back out. And that is a good place to start looking to see if there is a way you can repurpose those items before you get rid of them. Some ideas for repurposing could just be changing the purpose. I know that used to be a cashmere sweater that you maybe wore out, but if it's something you're not wearing anymore, is it better off as a skiing base layer? Is it better off as a sweatshirt that you throw on to go for a run? There might be a different way you can use that piece. There's different things you can do for tailoring too. There is a little linen dress that for some reason I just never wore as a dress that I am going to hem into sort of a boxy top. Anything in that pile of potential that's made from natural fibers, incredibly well made, take a look. Before you get rid of them, take a look to see if there's any way you can repurpose those pieces. I also want you to pull back out of the pile anything that sparks total joy. So this is where a shirt with the straps falling down, or the one that you actually really liked but maybe wasn't short enough, this is where you can pull some things out and evaluate them for tailoring. All right, so once you've pulled some pieces out of this monster giveaway pile, it's really up to you what you do with it. If you are nervous about just donating it all, which is totally a valid move at this point. My favorite trick is honestly to get trash bags, throw it all into trash bags, and put it somewhere where you can still have access to it. And give yourself some sort of timeline. If I haven't, and it could be a year. If you find yourself wanting to put things back because you're nervous that you'll miss it, then just put it away somewhere for a year, and then you can revisit a year later. That is totally a valid thing to do. Part of cleaning out your closet is it's kind of a journey of discovery. To make the most of this journey, I think it's really important to do some self-reflection afterwards. I think it's really important as you're cleaning out your closet to sort of take note of what you get rid of. Every time you're deciding between sweaters, right? If you find that the sweaters you're getting rid of all look a certain way, you should try to formulate your own little rule around that. These rules can change over time. They're not necessarily hard and fast, but they should just be considered flashing warning lights. So when you're about to buy a new piece and bring it into this beautiful closet that you've worked so hard to get down to just what you need, you should run that new piece by the set of rules that you formulated while cleaning out your closet to make sure that it's not going to be something that just gets donated on the next run. So my rules when I went through and cleaned up my closet, so it turns out I don't like blazers. I like silk pajama style tops. I love a good faux fur. I even like a stretchy pont knit. These are the pieces that I wear over and over and over and over again. And blazers are pieces I just collect, hang in my closet, and never wear again. I can't imagine that I'm gonna buy a blazer ever again. That's a bold statement, I know. Some of my rules are just around color. I found myself getting rid of a lot of tan sweaters. So I'm just gonna stop buying camel and tan pieces because for some reason, they just make me feel dead inside. This is blazer adjacent, but I find that in general, I tend to wear pieces that are casual or sporty that can then also be elevated, as opposed to truly just fancy pieces. I found myself getting rid of solid, fun colors instead of patterns. I wear neutral colors like black and gray and white, and I wear patterns. The last step, I think, is to make 2 lists. And again, this is for future shopping. Based on what you keep, I would make 2 lists of your most worn pieces. One of those lists is a list of general pieces that you wear the most. This is where I'll put things like black cashmere sweater, straight leg jeans. That's a list of pieces that you genuinely wear the most. And then I would make a list of like one-of-a-kind, irreplaceable pieces that you're terrified to lose. So for example, this is one of my irreplaceable pieces. It's a silk cami from Reformation, and it kind of ticks all my boxes. It has like the perfect fit. It is 100% silk, and so I can wear it in the summer, I wear it in the winter, and it is patterned. And so I find that this little piece goes with literally everything in my closet. It always feels like me, and I love wearing it. The only issue is this is it. Reformation didn't bring it back this year. It's sort of like irreplaceable now, and I love it so much. This is the kind of thing that I want to put on a list. So when I'm shopping, I know that if I ever see anything similar, that I will get a ton of use out of a piece like this. And so this is the kind of piece that for me is worth spending some more money on. All right, guys. In conclusion, try everything on, make your giant pile, evaluate everything you're trying on. Too itchy, get rid of it. Haven't worn it in 2 years, get rid of it. Once you have the pile, evaluate all of those pieces to see if there's anything sentimental or anything like incredibly well made that you can repurpose. Otherwise, get rid of it. Then as you're going through this process, write down what your set of rules are for the kinds of clothes that you wear and keep. Run any new purchases through your set of rules before buying, and then make your lists. Irreplaceable pieces you're terrified to lose. Those are the gems that you will be hunting for the rest of your life. And then a list of what you're wearing the most, just a small handful, just to kind of like as a starting point. Hopefully that helps. This is such a daunting but like freeing experience. Leave us comments if you have any questions. Don't be afraid to be a bit ruthless, especially knowing that the pile that you end up with, you can just throw it in a garbage bag and put it in your garage for, a year. It does not matter. So be ruthless, because it feels so good to have a closet that is completely cleaned out, where you love everything in it and you're excited to put it on. Like, that is the goal. So good luck out there, guys.